To our East African viewers watching right now, Habari Yako, and to our beautiful South African viewers, Sani Bonani, I'm so glad to be here with you today. Now, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda did so well in the CHAN tournament. Really, they can be proud of that performance. They were eliminated at the quarterfinal stages despite gallant performances at the group stages. SC, welcome to the show. Happy belated birthday to you. How does it feel to finally be 21?
That feels good, to be honest with you. Thank you for that. What an interesting tournament that we've seen. But before we get into that, let's talk about our trivia question, or ask the viewers the trivia question at hand. The trivia question for today is, how many island nations have reached the CHAN final?
How many island nations have reached the CHAN final? Keep watching the show to get the answer to that. Now, speaking of island nations, Madagascar definitely shut me up. They played so well this tournament. What makes them so good? And let's also look at the host nations. Kenya, for example.
Yeah.
Can they be proud of what they've achieved in this tournament?
Yeah, definitely, starting with Kenya. I mean, Benny McCarthy coming into this team with so many questions around him. A first tournament in his first national team position. I think he's done himself proud, to be honest with you. I, for one, I looked at it and I said, I wonder how is he going to fare, because we've seen him in club football and he's done so well. And it clearly shows that the experience that he's gained throughout his club football has been something that one has to really praise and say, you know, you brought good experience into the Kenyan team, and we see how they played the whole entire tournament, you know, with with a unity for one. You see the unity behind him and his team.
He showed he's capable of building a unified
team. And it goes in hand in hand with the tournament as well, you know, with the spirit of Pamoja, you know. Also, you have to give credit to players that raise their hands. You know, you look at a guy like Omija, you know, he really raised his hand in this tournament. So for me,
he scored that first goal
against Madagascar, you know.
Yes, in the quarterfinal. I wanted to go back to that game because if the game was 2-0, I think Kenya go through. Do you think that goal should have stood?
Look, we can sit here and argue about it, but at the end of the day, the decision has been made. And remember, the tournament has VAR, and VAR is there to look at such things. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. They need to move on from it and dust themselves up and say, you know what, we put our best foot forward. And of course, they didn't come up against a team that was just mediocre. Madagascar has been building themselves up. I mean, a COSAFA region team. We also have to talk about what the COSAFA region has done in terms of the tournaments they are holding constantly to build up this team that faced Kenya in this quarterfinal. And of course, the conversation around us is Kenya. Doing so well. Benny has put his best foot forward.
Yes,
sorry, Ade. You need to look at what he has done in terms of with this team. These are local-based players. He's going to bring in other players that are coming from other regions of the world, or the global space in terms of Europe players. That's going to send out a good message to say, okay, I'm going to build a good team.
Yes, when the politicians in the country are talking about how the football has brought the people together, then you know that you did something right. Now, let me read this quote from Benny McCarthy. It says, "Don't be surprised if this squad graduates to the national team level, because that is the trust I have in them. They made the transition from the local league to the CHAN, and they are looking like champions. Don't be surprised if 3/4 of this squad graduates to the national team." Wow, he definitely built a unified squad, a solid foundation for Kenya's future. Now, let's talk about what happened in Dar es Salaam, because we saw Tanzania go down to Morocco, and it was heartbreak for the locals watching that game, because Lam Louis scored in the 65th minute, and he's one of the hottest strikers on the continent right now. But Tanzania couldn't find a way back. You get Clement, who's had a very good tournament, and he was playing on the right side. He should have been, he was more central in that game.
Let me interject you there. You look at the two nations. You need to look at Morocco holistically and look at what they've done in terms of their leagues. The federations have put in a lot of work to get the Moroccan leagues being in a good state. Also, Morocco, you look at in terms of what their federation does in terms of, or their association per se. They've done so well to build up their teams. And when you look at this Moroccan team, it's no surprise that they find themselves in the final. They've been building it up. And for me, I look at that and I say, if you have a good structure, and as a federation and also as an association, if you've got a good structure, it shows in this. Also, when you look at Tanzania, it speaks with the same thing. These are countries that, when you look at the inter-club competitions, you find them there. And literally, they are pushing it.
Essie, what I wanted to ask you was about tactically what Tanzania could have done in that game to have gotten a goal, because Clement wasn't playing in the natural way.
You've answered the question by yourself. You know, Clement didn't put the ball in the back of the net. If he gets more into a more final third position and he closes off so well, or he presses so well, he's going to score goals. And if Tanzania had done that in this game, I think they would have beaten Morocco. But at the end of the day, Morocco is so structurally well and tactically, those players are too clever for the Tanzanian players. And it tells you that when you look at this match, you see how they approach the game. They can allow Tanzania to have the ball.
They could have taken more advantage of Morocco, because Morocco had injuries, they had a makeshift defense.
But when you are saying that, you are then literally saying all the players that are in the Moroccan team are not players that are there. They do not qualify to be there. But those players that are coming from the bench are players that are also playing in big teams in the Moroccan league, and they can come in here and have an impact. The same can be said by Tanzania. But for me, I look at the coaching and I say the coaching that is happening in the Moroccan team has experience. It's the coach that says, you know what, I've got the players that have the experience. And mostly you can see that in terms of their play and how they approach the game.
Yes, okay, so Tanzania, I mean, where did Senegal, for example, fall short against Morocco? We know where Tanzania fell short, but Senegal in the semi-finals, where did they fall short against Morocco?
Well, look, I think the honest part about this conversation is that it was a balanced game, to be honest with you. Both teams that are really big houses when it comes to football in Africa. And for me to look at the question and say they fell short in terms of going forward, in terms of the whole entire tournament, you know. Getting to this position with Morocco is not an easy team to beat, as well as Senegal. Hence, the team went to the penalties. And when they get to the penalties, it's luck, most honestly. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net during the penalties, you're going to lose out. And literally, that's what happened in this game.
Yes, definitely Morocco made the right decision, because when they were coming into this CHAN tournament, they wanted to choose a team of only under 25s. And then they played a few friendlies and they saw, wait a minute, let's get a bit of experience into this team. But tell me, the big one tonight. Now, this is the one we're all looking forward to, is Morocco against
Madagascar.
Yes, I mean, I was going to say the former holiday destination here on the show. A good
walking away from that now.
Yes, we're walking away from that now. Now, tell me, where do you think Madagascar could catch Morocco out? What's the weak point of this Moroccan
What
side?
I've loved about the Madagascar team is the pace they have. They've got interesting wingers. When you look at how they play their wingers, those diagonal balls they play send out a message to say, you know what, if Morocco is not as quick as you'd want them to be in the pitch, they're in trouble, because Madagascar really knows how to use the width play and the diagonal pass. So for me, I look at that and I say, I think Madagascar bronze medalist in 2022, it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens with this one. Morocco, one team that you cannot overlook.
All right, so tonight we're about to see the Malagasy Stars shine under Kasarani Stadium lights. Yes, it's the first island nation to qualify for an official CAF final. The team that have only one defeat in their last 6 matches against the 2-time champions gunning for a 3rd title. What a time to be alive. What a great final in store for us. Stick around, don't say I didn't warn you. The FA show is only about to get hotter.